It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts Tony Moore, Michael Mattis, Justin Lee Hareld, and Araceli Aviles. And now, let's dish.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to Dishin Days. I am your temporary host, Araceli Aviles, and to my this direction, we have
Michael Mattis, your not temporary co-host.
And below me,
no recasts this week on this show.
No.
Hey guys, Justin Hareld.
Welcome to Dishin Days, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good Sunday. Before we get started, let's get through the church announcements. Please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on Twitter. I refuse to call it anything else on Twitter and Threads. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us, press that subscribe button. Also press the like button, like our videos. Please make sure to listen to us on podcasts. If you can't catch us live, we are on Apple, Google, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And of course, you can buy our merch if you're big fans of us, dishindays.threadless.com. We could use the support. We do, I believe, still have towels. I was eyeing one this week. So get your merch. Yes. Also, please follow our former co-host, James Lott Jr. on JLJ Media on his YouTube channel. Please go support. He does all the recaps of General Hospital, Bold and Beautiful, Young and Restless. Basically everything we don't do.
And
he
more.
Does. And more. He does. He does.
He
so
does
please
the
go check.
most.
He
for
does
online
the most.
broadcaster, he does the most.
Yes. Yes, so
something for everybody.
Yes, so you'll have fun on his channel part of the day, and then you'll come here and have fun on our channel. Yay, win-win. All right.
Yes, and Tony's not here because everyone's going to start asking where's Tony. He's in Vegas having a grand old time doing who knows what. He's not responding to the group chat, so he's clearly occupied. All right. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's having some fun.
Tony's having some fun, and we are here.
And we're recapping this week, which is questionable fun.
It's questionable fun. I'm not even going to ask what people thought because I know my opinion. And we're just going to get into it.
Right.
We're just going to get into it. All right. It's time to start.
Dishin
Days.
There we go. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have time for this. Moving right along. Okay. Proposals 1 and 2. Okay.
So yes, 1 and 2 of 4.
4
this week.
4.
Wait,
it
which
was like Oprah's giveaway.
Proposing marriages. Say again. Sorry.
It was like Oprah's giveaway. You get a ring. You get a ring. You get a ring. You don't get a ring. You just get a crappy, kind of what if we do this kind of a thing. But oh my god.
So what 2 are we talking about exactly?
So the first
proposals
2
1 and 2 are
Xander, Chloe, Brady, Belle, Maggie, Sarah, Rex, and Bonnie. Okay, so the 2 proposals in here we're talking about are Xander to Chloe and Rex to Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
I can't decide which is worse.
Rex and Sarah.
Rex and Sarah is the worst one.
Yeah. Like, why is that like?
I'll say this for them. I feel like just getting frustrated and making noise.
I'm more frustrated. The part I'm frustrated with is the Rex Sarah situation.
Yeah.
How dumbass Rex thinks that let's get married. That'll solve all the problems. Like, well, you're a doctor. You're supposed to be.
I'll say this about Rex. I feel like he's reactionary. It's sort of Sarah I really don't get. I feel like Rex, part of it is he really wants to help out Sarah. I also think a lot of it is him trying to atone and make up for issues in their marriage. So this is him trying to be the white knight on the horse coming to her rescue. I can make everything better, whatever. So I fault him less in this scenario. I still don't understand what Sarah's I kind of understand what her issue is in regard to Xander. I don't understand what her plan is, and we've never gotten anything other than I'm pregnant, I want to get out of Salem, I'm moving to Chicago. It's like you're obviously not giving up the child for adoption or anything, so there's no like let me wait out 9 months and then I'll go back home. So you're keeping
it sounds like her plan is just to never go back to Salem. Her plan right now is to stay with Rex and have him help her raise the baby and never go back to Salem and never let Xander know that he has a child out there, which is, obviously a very misguided plan. I will give her pregnancy brain on that one.
But what was
you guys know me. I'm such a feminist. I'm such an advocate, especially I've had several friends give birth. I'm such an advocate. You don't even know of like the crap that they go through. You can't blame pregnancy brain for this one because she was stupid beforehand about all of this.
But yeah, like what was before
there's no plan
came into that's what I'm saying. What you were just gonna have a baby and just tell people you had a baby in Chicago? Like I feel like there was no explanation in which I feel like someone like Sarah, who we know we've seen, would have devised some sort of plan for this, or I don't know. I think her idea was just like, I'm gonna go to Chicago, which is, for all intents and purposes, a half hour away. It's not like she moved to Africa or moved to the other side of the world.
It's allegedly just down the road from Salem. So
yeah, exactly.
Xander could show up. Xander could show up in Chicago one day.
Yeah.
No good, Sarah. No. And I understand like her, like if she wants to have the baby and keep Xander out of its life, then this is not the solution.
Nope.
It's like, no, it's not. And I think we're all on board with that.
I also feel like a couple of things she's like that they addressed this week, which was good, is that we got from Xander's perspective when he reminded Chloe of like, he was a good dad to your other child. Like, don't discount that. That's one. And then two, when Maggie brought up, which I'm glad she did, was like, Sarah, this is the second time you've done this now.
Yep.
And the first time was, this is slightly more understandable than the Eric situation, because that was, that was just ridiculous and dumb. But this, even though this is crazy, it's, I don't know, I don't want to say believable or better, but
this is why I say you can't blame the pregnancy brain, because she's done this before.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, Michael. Right.
Okay.
No, but it's
And then there's dummies 3 and 4, who have only been together for a hot minute and are now considering marriage. When I love you, we're not exchanged. I care.
No, wait, who are we talking? 3 and 4. Are we still on Xander, Chloe?
We haven't even.
Xander, Chloe. Yeah.
Okay.
Xander, Chloe. Oh,
I'm sorry. I'm talking about the individual people.
Got it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Proposal 2, dummies 3 and 4. I will now assign them numbers because there's only one Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Okay.
Well, for me, this is just too fast. I actually don't think it's that ridiculous in the scheme of things. Right. They are a couple. They're at least a couple who seem like they actually get along and like each other. For me, it's just too fast.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. Other than that, I don't think there's anything really strange or like crazy about them possibly being engaged.
And, even given, all the history that, Belle threw in her face and Chloe's like, yeah, bitch, I know he kept me kidnapped. Like,
yeah.
If anyone knows, it's Chloe. And the fact that Chloe is making up her own mind as a grown-ass adult, as a grown-ass woman, as she said, like, I can understand Belle's, like she said, the best friend to point out when you're making a mistake. But for all intents and purposes, and yes, he in the last year did kidnap Bonnie and Susan, and they're blaming Xander for Susan's death. Can he be blamed? I mean, he was.
Right. I mean, I don't mind that.
He was involved in the sequence of events that led to Susan's death, but it was ultimately Ava that actually took the action to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, you know, he's been a stand-up guy, and they're becoming a couple that I'm kind of.
He's not making excuses for his behavior, right?
Yeah,
now.
Exactly. That's
and you know what the thing about it is, I don't think Xander's never has he made excuses for his behavior.
No, not really.
He's one of
him wanting
say
to
again. Sorry.
The stuff about Sarah he did was his excuses there were, I want to provide for you. That's why I'm doing
Oh, true. He wanted money, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like he's one that's like, I don't know, he's pretty upfront about who he is. And what people were saying in the chat is like, Sarah, you know, is backpedaling, knew what he was capable of when she got into a relationship with him and everything. And now it's like, oh, no, I can't let him be involved in anything. And it's like, well,
to be fair, Chloe does too now.
Yeah, and Chloe does too now. And she's a grown-ass woman and she's making her, you know, she's making her own decision. And she would, you know, to her credit, she didn't, to both of their credit, she's saying, I need time to think about it. And he's giving her that time and he's not pressuring her. Or should he have thrown it in Brady's fit? I don't know. I kind of liked it when he threw it in Brady's fit. I kind of did too. Because I was not a fan of Brady this week, and we'll get to that in a minute. And a point was proven this week that I will go into when we get to that, but we'll get to that in a minute.
And the audacity of Belle to say that, you know, I can understand from Belle's perspective why Xander seems like just like a better person than Brady is, but that doesn't mean that if Chloe says no to Xander, that she should go running back to Brady.
Yeah, exactly. It's
not one or the other. She's a grown-ass woman. Let her make her own decisions.
And Xander wasn't the cause of their breakup, and like Xander had nothing to do with that. It's not an either or. Yeah, but I will say, under different circumstances, I think Belle. I actually really liked that conversation. I thought Belle was a little heavy-handed, and that was the big thing. But I liked when we get like these friendship scenes where it's like, yeah, these people should be interacting. We've seen Nicole's perspective about Chloe and Xander. Now let's see Belle's perspective here.
And you know, it's okay for like, you know, friends to have some conflict. Yeah. It makes it interesting. And you know, when all was said and done, they're still good with each other. Yeah. It's just one friend looking out for the other one. But yes, Belle, like, you know, Xander, you know, Belle is not a saint. We all know that. But I mean, she didn't, you know, try to kill someone, or she doesn't have the rap sheet that Xander does. We'll say that. But she's not entirely hypocritical.
EJ does, who you were very willing to get into a relationship. So you were in the same position I was, and quite honestly, Sammy interrupted that whole relationship.
This is true. Yeah.
The chat room is not on Belle's side on this.
No. No. And I appreciate you sane people who are willing to call out a hypocrite.
Look at that. Right. Xander he's a good human that makes bad choices.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can we say that?
Yeah.
Yes. Which
does that mean he doesn't deserve love? No.
Yes. Just
but that means he needs to, you know, own up to his shit when it happens.
Yes, but just please don't live in a fantasy land.
And I really hope that if they move forward, like if Chloe says yes and they move forward with this engagement and we see that pattern, I don't want there to be like this recurring formula with Xander. Like I can just see that, like, oh, and something comes up where he's in a jam and the only way to get out of it is to kidnap somebody or to sell drugs or to do something bad. It's like, no, let's find something new, find a new pattern.
Yep.
And on that note, Dylan Matthews, I think, has the line to end this conversation.
Let her away.
And period.
It's the video of Tinkerbell going into the fire. The toy.
Oh my god! That's so awful.
It's awful, but it makes me laugh every time I see it. It's like,
Are you also one of those weird people who likes the gif of Elmo on fire?
Elmo on Fire. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, how have you not seen that one?
Maybe I've seen it and it just didn't resonate with me like Tinkerbell flying into a inferno.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Anyways, there are other proposals to be had in proposals 3 and 4, with EJ proposing to Nicole and recast Eric proposing to Sloane, which actually, maybe because it was recast Eric, that I actually liked the proposal. It felt, I will say, these proposals at least felt authentic.
True. I will get. I what, Justin?
I think EJ's is authentic. I wouldn't say maybe not authentic. I would say, I think, well, it's a different situation because they're having a baby than like Xander and Chloe with Eric and Sloane. But I mean, they're nowhere near as established as you know.
Yeah.
And again, it's being fueled by this baby.
Yes. Oh yeah. No, these proposals have their own issues.
Yeah.
Separate from the previous ones. Yeah, these are not without complications themselves. Main point being that Nicole is also pregnant with Eric's baby, but nobody knows that but Sloane. And now Melinda, apparently, who's going to keep her mouth shut.
I know. Just forget. Just hand wave that crime away that Sloane did. But
I think she's just spent too many years without friends.
Yeah, she's like,
I know. Now she's like, I have friends. You know, you're right. This is exactly what someone in that situation, how they would act. You're absolutely right. I'm just like, when did I wanted more Melinda Trask. I don't like this busybody Melinda Trask. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to see more of her. I just don't know if I'm liking this. Like, again, like Araceli, like almost desperate for friendship.
I don't mind it because it's still her.
I guess a little vulnerability isn't terrible.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. These proposals at least felt more real than the last one. There were, very nice rings involved. Actual thought was put into what was said. New lives are coming into the world. So I don't know. I
just feel like, I mean, even with this whole thing just makes me feel bad for EJ because you feel like he's completely all in, and it's like, and at the back of his head he's still like, he's not fully convinced she's over Eric, but he's still sort of going in with everything, and it's like
he's suppressing that insecurity
he totally is.
And ignoring it.
Yeah, he totally is.
And instead, maybe using that to be like a big brother and giving bad advice to Chad. We'll go there in a minute.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, I mean, if anybody wants to take bets on if any of these marriages are actually going to happen, I have like zero hope.
For any of them?
I mean, yeah, like I see like maybe one of them lasting a day.
One of the 4.
Yeah. But no, I have.
Well, with Eric's track record, like, his marriages get busted up like
I have no
minutes after they happen.
Yeah.
Sammy will come trotting in, all hot and heavy, revealing some shit.
Yeah.
Just like what happened 2 years ago.
It really makes me
I'm just going
wonder,
by what the show,
Yeah. It really makes me wonder, like, what the jewelry in the Days of Our Lives costume department looks like. Like, what's the stash that they have? I'd like to personally examine it because there were a lot of engagement rings being floated around this week. And I'd really like to examine and just critique. It was like back in the day when Sammy had wedding dress after wedding dress and they had to just keep coming up with different styles.
Do you think that Sammy has like a Lisa Rinna closet in her garage wherever she's living, and like one part of it's just labeled wedding dresses?
I really want to know where all those dresses are.
Like in Salem land or in real life?
in real life. I want, because like there was like Sammy in her entirety on the show has had a lot of wedding dresses, but there was a good like 3-4 year span where he just wanted one dress after the other.
Yeah.
I'm sure they keep like important, like regular everyday wardrobe. I'm sure they like maybe donate or something, but like important stuff like wedding dresses, I'm sure there's like some kind of storage at the studio for.
It's probably used for other shows, and
yeah.
So what did we think of new temp Eric?
I liked him actually.
Wasn't mad at him.
Yeah, I like the dynamic.
And this is no shade to Greg Vaughn. Greg Vaughn has been Eric for more than 10 years now, and he, but circumstances came up, and I felt like they did a good job finding a good Eric who wasn't trying to be Greg. Yeah, he was like his own Eric, but it sold it, like not just looks wise, but even just his demeanor and his tone and his voice and everything.
Yes, he was just trying to be in the moment, in the scene.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Like I wouldn't mind them finding another role for him somewhere else on the canvas,
on the show.
Yeah, I liked the way he tackled that scene.
Yeah, it's so funny how sometimes, not this case, but in other cases where a recast will come in or like a temp actor, and it changes the dynamic of the relationship, where it could change the way you think of the character, it could change the way you think of their partnerships with people, or sometimes
they can just take you out of the situation completely. And
or sometimes the character even changes, where sometimes they may play the character more sympathetic. They may play the, like every actor, brings their stuff to it. So it's interesting how.
Well, let's say this: if there's ever a storyline where it's revealed that there was actually a triplet and they weren't twins, they have a third Brady.
Oh no, that belongs to what's his name? Stan, the actor. Why am I forgetting? Dan
Wells.
Dan Wells.
Oh my god.
Okay, how about this? If it's revealed that Merlin actually had quadruplets.
Oh my god.
And not twins, they have two fine actors to play. Yeah.
Oh god.
Just take it all in, writers. Whoever's writing right now. Just
yeah, I support it.
They're like, no, sir, we won't.
Okay, so now that we've done away with, I don't even know how many engagement rings at this point.
How about being the prop person having to keep track of like whose ring is whose? Like
that's my thing. That's why I would like you have to actually look at them and make sure everybody's got the right stuff on.
Well, and I'm sure they have like a baggie or something with it clearly labeled. So
yes, you have to label it. From personal experience, yes, you have to label the jewelry because otherwise nobody knows what's what. Yeah. All right, to the one couple that is nowhere near getting married, thank God. Kristen and Brady, and the aforementioned resolution of where does Rachel go now?
Oh God, this storyline.
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
Well,
hit the wrong button.
Bad parents.
Bad parents. Okay. Yeah. I hope last week you all were trying to say, and I partly agreed with it, that for Kristen, this was mostly, she's not concerned for Rachel's well-being. She only wanted to win or lose. And that Brady was more on the having Rachel's best interests at heart. I hope that Brady's actions this week of finding a car to try to steal Rachel and take her away, and talking to John about winning and losing, using those words, winning and losing, proves that Brady is in it to win just as much as Kristen is. And maybe
did we not say that?
Yeah, you guys were, or maybe it was just Tony, but no, you guys were, last week, a lot of people were on the side of, Kristen just wants to win. Brady actually has Rachel's best interests at heart. And I was like, no, I think Brady's in it for the win too. This is
I think I said that too. Yeah, I think he's in it for the win, just less so than Kristen is. I think. No.
Here's the thing.
Think it's matched with Kristen? Really? Oh, I don't think. No.
when we
Nope.
well, here's the
After
thing.
this week, like he intended to take Rachel and leave with her. That was
Here's
his
the thing.
intention. He started making the plans to do it. He just got caught and couldn't.
Let me rephrase this conversation in terms of what winning constitutes. I think people think of this situation and winning of like score one over the other. In this case, the winning that we are referring to is I am right and you are wrong. And I am so right and you are so wrong that only I can win this argument. Does that make sense? It's not necessarily about one-upping each other until the end of time. It's I am so right and you are so wrong that I automatically have to win.
I guess.
I mean, yeah.
And both sides are doing that. And both sides are wrong because no one is actually listening to the damn child.
No one's actually listening to the damn child, and they just happen to be a judge that made this. It's not just because this judgment was made doesn't mean that Kristen's the better parent. Doesn't mean Brady's the worst parent. They're both terrible. They're both awful parents. They are using this child in their attacks on each other. They're using her as like like a prize. But I do remember the group, or maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was Tony. Maybe it was just Tony. But yeah, the idea that, Brady's more in it for Rachel and Kristen's just out to win. No, they're both in it just to win out over each other.
But I think
they're using the kid to do it.
But I think when we talk about it, it's more from the fact of after Kristen's already done it. I think the fact that Brady stopped himself when John...
No, John stopped him. He didn't stop himself.
No,
he didn't stop himself.
No, John told him don't do it, but he didn't stop him. Brady stopped himself from doing it.
But if John hadn't found out, if John hadn't come in and confronted him, he would have done it.
But I'm saying that's where Kristen comes in over Brady. I'm saying Kristen would have still done it. You think
if Kristen had been Brady in that situation and someone tried to stop her, she would have done it anyway.
She would have done it anyway. That's what I'm saying. And she has done it before. That's why I'm saying. That's why I feel like she's a little.
Got it.
Again, I'm not saying Brady's good. I think he's got his own issues, but I think this is the difference between them. Where if they're confronted,
I get what you're saying.
He
Brady actually was able to stop himself,
exactly,
whereas Kristen would not be able to
stop herself. Yeah,
got it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's still bad. Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of that. I need to one up Kristen too. I mean,
absolutely. And then what's his? I mean, at least he didn't go back to like alcohol or drugs, but he went to his other drug, we'll call it. I mean, that's what it is.
Well, I feel like he was just turning the one person who could,
knowing that she was just engaged to someone else.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
Or not fully engaged, but thinking was proposed to.
Yeah. For many, many reasons, Chloe is not the solution to this problem.
No.
For many, many reasons, which we've already stated ad nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull a Tony. Ad nauseum. Never know what that means. I hear people say it and I nod along, but I'm like, ad nauseum. What does it mean?
Oh, really? Oh, seriously? Oh, it means
seriously.
we've talked about it to death so much so that it's going to make me sick to keep talking about it.
Oh, that's where the nausea comes in.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm so sick of talking about this.
Okay. So when I hear ad nauseum.
Yes.
Who?
Mr. Tony Moore.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Where's Mama Moore? Is Mama Moore here? I haven't seen her chime in.
Oh, she may pop up later.
I have to keep an eye out for her.
Yeah. Or maybe she just she knows that Tony's not here.
She needs a Sunday away. She needs a Sunday away from this mess. She's like, I can't.
I wish I could take a Sunday away from this mess.
From us?
No, not from you. But have we had one positive thing to say in the last half hour?
Yeah, the
Yep.
Greg Von recast was good. that was a positive.
Yes, so our one positive thing that we've had to say in the last hour is about an actor who is not on contract with this show.
I mean, I don't need
Yeah.
a positive show. I just need interesting. I mean,
Yeah, it
whatever.
doesn't always have to be. We don't always have to be on everybody's side. It's fine.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum.
But we're on nobody's side.
Not yet. No.
I don't know.
It's not just that like we're taking. It's not a matter of taking sides. We're on nobody's side in the last half hour.
I mean, I've got Xander. I'm on his
I'm
side.
fine.
Like,
Like I
he
said,
ain't pulling shit.
I'm
Yeah.
not too fast. I'm on
Yeah.
no one side today. They're all just dummies. And I'm sorry, for your age, you should be acting more your age at a certain point. And I know that, like, age is relative, and everybody matures at different.
Oh, I'll agree with this
phase and life
positive.
happens, but come on.
Dan looked good this week. Something about the way he was made up really nice this week. Not that he looks like shit every other week. Dan, you always look good. Just this week, I just noticed. I was like,
he looked bad.
his eyes are like twinkling this week, or something. Something was up with him. But yeah, there's a positive.
I never notice unless people like visibly look bad, and Dan never looks bad, so I don't notice. All right.
So
That was those are main storylines. Before we move on to our many tidbits, please as a reminder to please follow us on social media. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook. Is it at Dishin Days? At Dishin Days on Instagram and Dishin Days on Twitter and Threads. We're kind of on Threads. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow us on all podcasts. And please buy our merch at dishindays.threadless.com.
Bim, bam, boom.
Bim, bam, boom. And on to tidbits. Number 1. This
bullshit. I was like, I got to the point even before they stopped saying it. I was like, if one of these dudes says gentleman's agreement one more time, I'm taking a folding chair and I'm going to Salem and I'm whacking them over the head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. Just it was just everything that we said last week came to fruition this week. And I'm sorry, Alex trying to play innocent doesn't fly with me.
No. Alex, I don't know. I kind of sympathize with Alex. The whole thing was messy. I think Stephanie I don't know. Do you think Stephanie overreacted a little bit? Like, I understand her not being happy, but like she was hot about it. And I was like, I just wanted to be like, girl, it's not that big a deal. Just tell him, you fucked up and move on.
Go ahead, Debs.
My problem is that this conversation turned into something completely different than it was supposed to be. This conversation, I don't know how this turned into a conversation about Chad saying, I got so jealous and insecure that I didn't want to lose you. I'm sorry, it was not that deep. Mm-hmm. It was not that deep. This was about boundaries. About putting boundaries between neighbors, about putting boundaries in your relationship. That's what it was about. It went in a completely sideways direction that had absolutely nothing to do with the actual topic at hand.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, let me present this. She, last week, was kind of I don't want to say on board. Like, she was trying to establish boundaries with Alex. Mm-hmm. Chad was doing it in a different way that, wasn't great. But then this week, Alex was trying to adhere to the boundaries from both of them. And Stephanie was so bothered by the fact that, wow, he was so cold to me. He barely said anything, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, girl, you've got a boner for him still.
Yeah.
That's the issue here. And it was just clear to me this week. It's like, oh, you still got a thing for this guy. You want to talk all big and establish, and on one hand you want to, establish boundaries and you get annoyed by them. But on the other hand, it's like, you give your boyfriend a look and then you have to invite them out to the pub. He acts cold to you or is trying to adhere to these boundaries and you get all bothered by it.
Yes.
And so maybe that's the reason she was so up in arms about it. Maybe she's deflecting, if that's the right word. Because she knows the feelings are still there, but she's trying to like.
I thought she was, originally I thought she was overreacting until she sort of brought up this point, and I didn't think about it in this sense. And I think maybe because, and I'll say this, these circumstances or the outcome is different, but the action is the same. When she said to him, "You did to me exactly what Alex did to me." The outcome is different. My mother didn't die.
She had a point there.
You just did the same exact thing. Alex was insecure about our friendship and us working together, and he did something to sort of control me in a sense. You're doing the exact same thing now, and that, like, for me, that's when it clicked. I was like, okay, I understand why she's so pissed about this.
And from
the
her
stakes are
perspective,
different.
And from her perspective, that made sense. To go there. Because Chad went about it in the wrong way. But from Chad's perspective, I was completely confused. And I was like, you're making this into something it's not about. Because what you were actually asking for was not unreasonable. It's just the way that you went about it was wrong. And that's the conversation that, like, we kind of got, but not really. So...
what did we think about, because I'm not sure how I feel about it, the scene with Chad and EJ, and then Kristen walked, and it became like this cutesy sibling moment where Kristen, came in and was like, oh no, that's going to blow up in your face. And then Kristen and EJ were kind of throwing like insults at each other, or kind of, and they're like, hey. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't know. Didn't really like it, but I don't know why.
I liked it. I liked it because it's a return. What we've been saying about the Damaras and the Kiriakises for a really long time, that we need these these are presumably big mansions, and yet nobody's living in them. We need the people. If you're not going to live in the mansion, at least spend time with their time with your people. And like, should Chad be living in the Damara mansion? No. Absolutely not. Should he be interacting with his siblings? Yes, if only to keep an eye on them and to kind of do a gut check of himself, of like, he shouldn't go there and come away with, I should take EJ's advice. He should go there, talk to EJ and say, ooh, that was bad advice.
Yeah, I kind of liked it just because it was a sibling scene and it was them not being at each other's throats and just kind of enjoying each other in a weird way, in the way that they know how. I also like that it was Chad was there, because I feel like he gets so separated from them in a lot of ways, and we understand why, but it's like, you can still have a relationship with your sibling. Like, you're not working for Damira anymore. You're not that meshed into what's going on there, but you can go by and you can go to the house and you can bring the kids over, which I actually really liked. That it was like, Rachel's coming home, or she's moving in. It's her first night. Invite Thomas and Charlotte.
Make her more comfortable by having the kids there. With bunk beds.
Yeah.
I mean,
can you see Kristen? Can you see Kristen going to, like, was it Kristen that? She redecorated the room. Can you see her going to like the Bed Bath and Baby or whatever it's called, and like, I just can't. Maybe she
ordered that off a website and Hareld put it together. Like, come on.
No, I'll tell you what she did. She went to Pottery Barn and ordered the most expensive things. She pointed at things, and then
she went to
grabbed some poor lowly person that worked there, and just ordered him to put it in a van.
Mathis Brothers.
I feel sorry for the person who had to move that, because she was acting like the conductor that she is and just ordering people around.
West Elm.
Yeah.
Actually, West Elm, that's more Damira.
Yeah, that is.
I believe that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. No, they wouldn't shop at IKEA. No.
Oh no. You have to
Chad and
no.
Stephanie and Alex
Putting together
probably
things?
would be
Absolutely
IKEA,
not.
No.
No.
Demirs are not IKEA people.
No. No.
I can't see Kristen Demir rolling up, buying some baby stuff, and then going and getting some meatballs. Can't see it.
No, absolutely not.
That's my style.
Okay, and with that, we will never, ever, ever, or hopefully never hear gentleman's agreement again.
What would you have done if you had been Yuri, Josh Flagg's character?
Right.
That also bothered me. I was like, y'all are so unprofessional. Y'all are in the middle of a business meeting and you're getting into all this personal shit. And yes, I do think Alex blew the whistle somewhat intentionally on Chad. But to do it there, and the fact that like Yuri stayed and wasn't just like, y'all are too much, I'm out of here. Because I feel like if that would have happened in real life, yeah, it wouldn't have happened. Or
like he would have even hired Stephanie to begin with. Like,
Nope.
why are we? Why
true.
are you these
Well, true. That's good.
again? And he was trying to pretend like it was a secret, and I was like, your last meeting was with both of these people for a completely different company. Like, why are you pretending? Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you think Alex intentionally ratted out Chad, or do you think it was just he got flustered and blurted it out? And
I think it was 70%. He wanted to keep the agreement, and then 30% of like I can blow it up, and I have this excuse.
Yes, the same attitude that told him that it was okay to go to Stephanie's front door shirtless and leave her apartment in her boyfriend's robe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, you know what, is also fine too. You know what? I feel like he doesn't necessarily need to have loyalty to Chad either. I mean,
it's not about loyalty, it's about common decency.
No, the agreement, I'm saying. I don't like, he's also friends with Stephanie, and if he wants to keep a friendship with her, like there's a conflict there. So I'm okay with it. Yeah, I was fine with it. I don't think he should be inserting himself in. I don't think he should go back to square one where he shows up at their door all the time. I think he should still honor that part of it, but keeping it a secret from Stephanie, I'm okay with him sort of letting the cat out of the bag with that.
Got it.
Yeah.
And once again, I'm on no one's side here.
Team no one. Team no one.
No one. So let's see if that changes in the next tidbit. We are heading to a little detour from Salem to Bayview. Big beds and Bayview.
Salem Inn and Bayview.
Yes, Salem Inn and Bayview. So we got a reunion between Tamara Braun and Steve Burton, who are playing characters who have never met each other before. Harris Michaels and Ava Vitale.
I was going to throw a folding chair at the TV.
I know you were.
If when she was doing that, I know who you are. I know blah, 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 blah. And if she had said the name Jason.
I know, yeah. I was kind of waiting to see.
TV would have been out the window, and not the TV. Yeah. You know what? Why would I punish my TV for something stupid? But I would have wanted to take a folding chair to my TV. But luckily, she was convinced he was Charlie, which I'm like, he's got quite a few years on Charlie, doesn't look like him, but you're crazy, so I'll go with it.
I think it fit in with the fact that she has delusions about people being Charlie, so that sort of it was a nice way to do the way.
Oh, that's right, because she confused someone for Charlie when she was being
Tripp,
wheeled out when she left.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, okay.
So yeah, that fit. I'd say it was so nice to see Tamara Braun back. I mean, I think she's such a powerhouse actress, and like, I think we need someone like her on canvas. I mean, we were always crazy with the way they sort of domesticated her with the rave stuff. But
always making lasagna.
Yeah,
we don't. No, it's not Chef Boyar Ava. No, we don't need that back.
Yeah, no. It's like bring her, let her have her edge, and just not be like a psycho running around town. Like she can keep her edge and sort of be a great character. And
yeah.
But I like their dynamic.
Yeah, they had a very interesting dynamic, and it was mostly like history repeating for us as an audience, just them meeting each other and giving their life stories. And so at first it felt a little forced, But then as the conversation went on, and it turned when Harris said, I know what it's like to not be in control and to be responsible for someone's death because of it. Mm-hmm. And that's when the conversation, I feel, turned, and it really felt like this is new. This is not Tamara and Steve. This is Harris and Ava. These are two people with completely different lives, completely different backstories, who have never met before, but they have something really unfortunate in common.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
I'm curious to see. I hope this isn't just a flash in the pan. You know what I mean? I hope like the Eve interact was a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But I hope they develop something, because Justin, I'll agree with you. Like, Tamara is really a presence, and I think that she brings something to the show that, you know, is not there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they
also need a different room for visiting at Bayview than the common area. But we get it.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Although, so Harris encouraged Ava to trust herself, to reach out to her son. He just happened to have the worst possible timing.
Yeah. And Wendy was ready. Like, I always appreciate that when they have the girls kind of be like the horny ones.
Yeah,
like back when Sierra, Sierra, like every time Ben would have a problem, she's like, I know how to make it better. You know what I mean? And Wendy, she was like, I've been waiting a long time for this. And she's like, why don't we just skip dinner?
Yeah.
And then he brings out dessert, and she's like, that's not what I had in mind.
That is not the dessert I had in mind.
Although I love how Wendy knows how to do like a night on her own. She had her wine. She was turning on probably true crime or something, and just like, she doesn't mind being by herself for a night. And I appreciate that they're showing that she was like, oh well, it ain't no thing.
Yeah. No, she handled that well, but I gotta be honest, it's probably starting to feel real frustrating at this point.
I'm like,
they've tried and they've tried and they've tried.
I want one of those scenes where, and again, it's sort of like it left off with Wendy saying like, you're coming right back. Like, let's not pretend like the whole night is ruined. Like, you're gonna go see her, come right back, whatever. So we'll see. I guess we'll see how that pans out if it doesn't. But I also feel like we need one of those scenes where they're just like sitting on the couch, and then they're like, we're just gonna go have sex. Like, you know what I mean? Do we really need the big like romance? I mean, these aren't like two 18-year-olds trying to lose their virginity, or a teenager. Like,
I mean, it's nice that they wanted to make it nice for each other, that they wanted to be romantic with each other. But that only works for like the first or the second time you're trying to get together. At this point, it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, have one of them come home from work, the other person's there, and been like, listen, let's go. Like, why are we?
It's gonna get there.
Yeah. That's what I want.
It's gonna be like, I got 10 minutes. Let's go. By the way, chat room, not on the Wendy and Tripp train. Like, these comments.
Oh, guys, I like.
They need something to do. Like, their interactions with Leo last week was fun, or the week before was fun, but they need something for them to do. Like, we talk about, like, it's ready-made couple. They already live together. They're a good match. Like, the conflict is now them having sex with each other. Like,
they will, guys. It was one day. It was one day. It's not like we're watching a whole week of them like trying to figure this out. It was one day this week. Like, it's fine. We can have one uncomplicated couple in Salem, please.
Yeah, that's always necessary to balance out. You know, they need some stability to counteract the mess.
They have to do something. They have to be interesting, though.
Didn't we just we had a really long list that we just got through of the mess. I like the uncomplicated couple, who their biggest problem is that I like Tripp and Wendy together.
I think they play well off of each other. They're cute together. They're both kind of like slightly awkwardish. I don't know. I'm digging it.
I don't mind them. I just feel like they need to give them something to do that's not an interloper or
and I think Yeah, I think this is just the lull before they try to, you know, throw some shit at them.
Yeah.
Well, his mother's in an institution, and her brother is just coming off of a brainwashing to attempt to murder someone. So if you're thinking that there's not going to be drama there, there's going to be drama there.
Oh yeah, we just gotta wait for it. Gotta be patient.
Just be patient.
Like Wendy and Tripp, just be patient.
Oh gosh, that's going to blow up.
The release will come soon.
Oh my God willing. Okay. And moving on to Salem 101, courtesy of Professor Kayla Johnson.
With her flashcards.
With her flashcards.
I'm like, are they trying to establish something with
Don't
Kayla and
even
Abe?
say it. Don't
I mean,
even
I didn't
say
want
it.
to, and I don't always like to go
know.
just because like two people are in scenes together. It's like, I don't know. There was a moment. There was a moment. Like towards because they're doing the flashcards. There was a moment that I don't know. There was just a moment. I think it was after Paulina left. There was something, and I was like, "Oh, are they trying to go here?" But I don't know. Maybe it was just.
I think that was the awkwardness of them just playing that scene of. But now that you mentioned that, do you guys remember there was a point where Steve was gone?
Did they try this one?
They did chem test them together, and I feel like they were gonna go there with them, and then they stopped. And I think brought.
Oh, you know what?
That was.
I remember now.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
They were having them interact a lot together and talk and be each other's confidant, and then it was like, oh wait, are they going here with Abe and Kayla? And then they sort of dropped it, but. Yeah.
And then they tried to go there with Abe and Kate, kind of ish, but then they ended up just being professionals.
Yeah. No.
I always felt like there was an undertone of like they may be doing something with Kate and Abe, but
yeah.
It was a lot.
I liked it in the sense of I mean, not that we never see those two together, but it was nice to like have her not be in doctor mode or in doctor mode in a different way and like help him. It was like a real like friendship scene, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we think that it is a good idea for Abe to go back to work?
No.
I don't mind it, actually. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it, but I feel like it just maybe he just needs a few more moments. Like, does he like? I don't know. I was conflicted about it. I think it's too soon.
I think it'd be good for him.
Yeah, I kind of like.
I mean, it could go either way. It could be something that triggers his memory. You know.
Yeah. I like that they're separating the amnesia part. It's not like he still can think by himself, and he's still who he is. He's not like actually a different person, which I'm glad they did that route.
Well, and also as the temporary mayor is an asshole with a capital A.
Yeah.
So if anything, to get rid of that guy.
Yeah.
Which is actually why Paulina broached the subject, because this guy is harassing Chanel.
Yeah, it's not like she just doesn't like him for illegitimate reasons. No, he's being an ass.
He's harassing her daughter.
He's harassing her, singling her out.
Symbol in the window that no one else. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'm kind of tired of seeing Abe sit on a couch or in a wheelchair or something. So hopefully we get some. Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing Rawlings' face. So. Sorry to the actor who plays him.
Well, I mean, it was good. Let's say that it was great casting because
you're
really
doing an amazing job of playing an absolute asshat. Yes, so the job well done.
Job well done.
But just I because I don't enjoy at all these interactions.
No, and then him giving, is that a separate tidbit? Did I make that a separate one? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but we can go there. It's okay.
We'll mesh the two together. Like giving Sean the commissioner job when he's just back. Like I was more like, oh, Jada should have gotten it.
It's clearly this guy making questionable decisions on a power trip. Like I can make the decision because I can.
Yeah.
And that's the attitude that he's going in with. Like, never mind that Sean was just suspended for drinking on the job, which in any other department he would be fired for.
Yeah, I thought this was an interesting dynamic, and it was interesting to include Jada's perspective in this. I found like the whole like who to pick for commissioner was just kind of like whatever. I mean, one of them just got involved in not a scandal, but involved in fraternization, which is against the rules. The other one was suspended for getting caught drinking. So I'm like, not that they're
So
both,
neither of them are ideal candidates.
yeah, I was kind of like, okay, well, either one here, I guess. Like, neither one of you is in that great of a position considering what just happened. But I think it was interesting to have Jada's perspective, and then have that mesh at the end with Sean. It was like, oh, this is an interesting.
She's not wrong.
With her.
She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. I mean,
She's
I think
not
this is a. I think this is. I don't think this is a conversation to be had right now, simply because she's only been in the department for less than a year.
That's
That's the only reason I'm saying this is a valid conversation, just not right now.
I thought it was, I thought when she was saying it, I thought, yes, for outside of here. I don't know if I 100% agreed with her in this particular situation. Do you know what I mean? I felt like she was sort of skipping over like her own issues. Like, I don't know if it was who mentioned it. Someone said was like, your sister was just involved in a major crime that like the mayor. Like, you've got some black marks on your record there too. And again, not your fault, but also the stuff with, you're also now coming off of the stuff with Rafe, where you were a willing participant in that. So it's like, I don't know if she had necessarily the moral high ground to make that point, even if it's a point that should be made in other instances.
Yes, it's an overarching correct assessment.
Yeah.
Just not, there were just other circumstances in this situation, including an ass who just was like, I'm just going to do what I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, that guy's got to go. For that reason, I understand Abe should come back. Now, I think he should have like an assistant nearby to kind of help him like get the lay of the land and things like that. He absolutely shouldn't be thrown like into the deep end on his own.
Bring Sheila back. Where's T-Boz?
Yeah.
She working?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I loved her. Yes. Yes. So he needs help, obviously. But yeah, this getting into old patterns as much as he can, yes, will help him. And work is different from home. It's a different pressure system because nobody cares what you're doing. It just, as long as you're doing your job.
Yeah.
Just do the job that you were hired to do, and people will be happy.
Yeah, I kind of like Rafe's attitude toward the whole thing. He seems very chill, very like in vacation mode. I don't know if that's going to change soon, where he's going to want to get back in the mix, but he was definitely like, you know what? I got this great new relationship. I got rid of this stressful, crazy ass job. And he's just like,
I'm going to sit back and watch some Body and Soul.
Yeah, right?
In sweaters in August.
It's Salem.
Yeah.
Sweaters in August.
Yeah. I'm liking Abe in this situation.
Now, on the other end of the spectrum, let's talk about the other drama that just landed in Chanel's lap, which is now one, unsuspecting to her, maybe two more. Please don't make this a triangle. Please, for the love of God, do not make this a triangle.
They're already setting up the sides, whatever.
Yeah.
No,
angles.
no, not with this girl. With this girl, she's had nothing but triangles.
No.
Triangles and a threesome to cap it all off. No.
Okay, let me ask you guys. Were you thoroughly confused? Because I felt like Talia was, when she was in her session with Marlena, I felt like they were going, when she was sort of explaining herself and her feelings, and I was like, oh, they're going there. She was like, I don't really know if I actually like Chanel. I think I'm attaching the feelings from the stuff with Colin, and I was like, ooh, that's an interesting. I felt like that's the way where they get out of this thing. You know what I mean? And then by the end, she was like, I do have feelings for her, and I was like, oh God, like I felt like she was almost out of the woods from that storyline where it was like, okay, you know what? I actually don't really like her. I just think I feel bad for her. I like her as a friend. Like my head's still messed up about Colin. Like I don't know. I feel like they had it out there and they dug deep.
She doesn't know anything, and that's the problem. Is that she put it out there that she is so inexperienced. She doesn't know how to differentiate what is feelings like I care about you or what is like real attractive. And by the way, you can be there's different kinds of attractions.
Yeah.
And that's something that you learn with experience. There's like being attracted to somebody's mind. There's like the instantaneous attraction where you're like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Like y'all know it's when you're that attracted to someone, when you like, you know, just, you know, I don't have to say, you know, and she's so inexperienced that she's all in her head about it. Mm-hmm. When the reality is that when you're actually attracted to someone, it has nothing to do with your head.
It's also another like repeat of Allie. It's like, oh God, we're going there again. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Yeah. It's just like let her and Johnny be together.
The chat room is collectively pro Johnny and Chanel. Mm-hmm. Anti-Triangle and anti-Tally and Chanel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
it's not like I want bad for Talia. I don't blame her for any of this. Yeah. The girl's just been put through the ringer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Keep Talia on the show.
To get her head straight before she jumps into.
Yes. Although I did appreciate how cute she went about telling Chanel, because that would totally be me too. She's like, okay, I have feelings for you. Bye.
Bye.
Like, just keep them as best friends. Like, I don't know. I'm not crazy about this idea.
No more triangles. Not with this character. Please. Please. I understand triangles are a part of soaps. They happen, but Chanel has not been on the show that long, and she's been through I don't know how many triangles. No more, please. Okay, I've said my piece on that. Moving on to an unexpected triangle. I'm not necessarily mad at this one. The Iceland Queens, who are all, I take that quite literally. It's literal because they're all off to Iceland.
What could go wrong with this plan?
I'm like, do we not know how small
Iceland
is?
We've done, what's her name? Gwen, almost finding Leo and Dimitri together at least twice. Maybe there was a third time that I blocked out. No more. If I she can only almost catch them so many times. At least she didn't see Dimitri this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like they can't. That's enough of this. Move on to something else.
I'm surprised actually, and they've mentioned this a couple different times, which I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I just assumed early on, not even this week, but maybe the previous week, that Dimitri was going to find a way to get Leo into the mansion, like permanently. Mm-hmm. Of like, hey, let's invite your best friend. We know it's going to be uncomfortable, like one of those like.
But he's paying for the hotel. Give him a free place to stay. Yeah. Don't make him.
And yet, now that Justin says it, I can totally see it happening.
That's I was actually waiting for that. I was waiting because I was like, how is he? Because we know Dimitri is just wants to keep this up, and they kept going on like, okay, he has to stay married for a year. How is he going to do it? And I was like, okay, don't tell me Leo's going to be living in the mansion now, and that's going to be there, Yeah.
I am actually legitimately worried for Dimitri's stamina.
I think he can handle it.
That's a lot.
I think MP is up for. I think
that's MP a lot.
They have pills for it now. and he's resourceful. So
My God.
pop a pill and you're good for 4 hours.
I mean, he
Anything
might
longer
have
than
to.
that, see a doctor.
Oh, I legitimately wonder if he's going to have to see the concierge doctor when he's there. I'm picturing a very particular Grey's Anatomy episode where things went terribly wrong when that happened.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, just like, guys, be careful. Yes. Yes. And Iceland, I also, although I don't begrudge anyone going to Iceland. I hear it's a beautiful country. I'd like to go one day.
I know Iceland's like a hot location.
Yeah, I don't know why people
I see people
were
on
like,
Instagram going, not hot as in temperature wise, but like
no.
gorgeous.
This is probably the thing that's happened to the Leo character. I think seeing like his dimension, seeing him somewhat conflicted, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There just needs to be needs to be a wrench thrown in somehow.
Yeah,
we need to find out that like Gwen knows and is playing both of them.
I know.
Or someone in the chat room brought up, is it possible that both Leo and Gwen are playing him? But I don't know if that. I think think Leo is actually. I don't think. If anything, I think maybe Gwen knows and is playing both of them. But I don't think Leo would be in on it. I think Leo is legit hot for MP and betraying his friend.
Yes.
I still feel like, I don't know, something about that. I'm still feeling like Tripp is like a wild card in here somewhere.
I hope so.
Between that. Yeah, I feel like.
Oh, because they had that conversation about the boyfriend marrying the best friend. And so he might get clued in.
He knows.
Well, Tripp, remember, he knows it was him, and then Leo tried to play it off.
Yeah.
But I feel like Tripp is still maybe like, this isn't my issue. I'm not worried about it. But I feel like if he gets
Tripp also has some distractions. He's trying to dick down his girlfriend, and his mom wants to see him. So, like MP is not. What am I trying to say?
He's an adult with a full-time job, guys.
Yeah.
Plus, he's a full-time job, and they actually show him working and at work. So,
and explaining, hey, I have tonight because tomorrow I have to work a double shift, like a normal human being.
Oh, Tim Rawl has a good one. That's a good one, I think. That would be an interesting wrench.
Yeah, because Kristen knows.
That would actually be interesting. I could,
And Kristen and Gwen are supposed to be, sisters.
Who knows?
Or friends-ish. Frenemies. I don't know. What would you call them?
I'd say they're friends. I'd say
they're friends. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have fun in Iceland. Don't do anything too strenuous.
Don't forget to write.
Anyways.
A postcard with a never mind.
Yeah. Don't go there. And last but not least, the homecoming dinner, which we know will never be eaten. Yes, we have finally arrived at the departure of Victor Kiriakis. We know what the characters do not yet know, that this is the end of the line for Victor.
Yeah.
And we'll see that play out in the next week. As of now, Justin came into the room. All he knows is that Justin's plane is missing. But if you know, missing plane does not usually mean the plane is just missing, especially if it's flying over the Atlantic.
I'm hoping there's a bigger story here. Otherwise, I just find it odd if this is the send-off.
Like not that he had a medical emergency on the plane, and like this whole like the plane disappeared and who knows. Say what?
The Bermuda Triangle.
Like something, and please don't tell me it's like they never find it. It's not going to be like that Malaysian plane that they still have not found.
Oh God!
10 years later.
Yeah. I'm hoping there's something else that's going to open up here. Otherwise, to me, it seems like an odd way to send someone out, considering they could have done it a very quote unquote natural way.
Yeah.
But I will say this: I like the fact that like this family is in so much conflict before this. I actually kind of like that. I feel like, and they kept sort of bringing it up, of course, this week with like Brady and Alex are sort of on one side, and Victor's not happy with them, I guess, right now. And then he has the issue with Xander, and then Alex and Maggie aren't on the same. I feel like it's, I feel like Justin and Bonnie are ironically the two that are the two family members that probably Victor is okay with outside of Maggie, which is funny.
As okay as he can,
as he
as
can
okay as Victor
possibly
gets
be.
with those two.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah, so we will catch up on Monday. That's going to be front burner storyline. We'll see how that is tackled. But yeah, we knew this was coming. And that was your week of days.
On that note,
And not on that depressing note. That was your week of days. And now let's move on to our segments. Tony is not here, so we do not have 3 snaps. So we will start with Michael Madison's.
Caption that.
all right, this week's caption that goes to it's courtesy, of Justin and Alex saluting something, and this week's caption goes to Dylan Matthews. No favoritism involved. It was just the one I liked the most. Dylan Matthews with his shady caption. Here's to Eric and Nicole not interacting this week. I'll cheers to that.
Oh,
The shade of it all.
And that was this week's.
Nice.
Caption that.
And now we have Mr. Justin Hareld.
Those were the days.
Yes, we had to celebrate this one. This take it back to August 10th, 2004, where Martha Madison assumed the role of Belle Black. This, of course, for those of you who are in the know that this is coming off of
Thank God.
the infamous actress. I won't even go. I'm not going to go there because I feel like this woman has been.
It's been said. It's been done.
She is coming off the heels
Every
of
year this girl has
temporary
to deal
actress
with.
who was in the role for a short period of time, and then in comes Martha Madison to save the day, we'll say, and assume the role of Belle. And it's so interesting. Like I was just saying earlier in the episode, how bringing in a character changes the dynamic. I always felt like I like Belle and Sean, but I feel like Martha's Belle with Philip is always like, there's always something dynamic there. I feel like, and it's so different from like a Kristen Storms with what's his name, not Brandon, but Jason Cook. I feel like that dynamic is one thing, and this dynamic she's had with I have to say all the Phillips. I feel like it's interesting. So it's like when you look at Belle, it's like sometimes you categorize different people by ships. It's like I've always liked her Belle with Philip. I feel like Kristen Storms I wouldn't have liked with Jay Johnson, but I like Kristen with Jason as Sean. So yeah, it's interesting how someone can come in and the character sort of changes. But yeah. So August 10th, 2004, when Martha Madison came in and debuted as Belle.
Those were the days.
And we were forever grateful. And now it's time for my segment.
It's a gift.
And this week's, it's a gift goes to Mr. Leo Stark and the never-ending frustration. Admit it, you guys have all done this.
You did it to yourself, Leo.
This is true.
You literally need to, make that bed. Or you made the bed. Now go lie in it.
He made the bed and now he is lying in it.
Actually, you didn't make the bed. It's still messy, but
screaming in the pillow. Yes, I frequently scream into my pillow as well, Leo. Yes. Yes. I hear you. And that was
It's a gift.
And now we move on to
News and gossip.
We're starting off with some lovely, really, really happy news. Some of you haven't seen. Big congratulations to both Carson and his lovely wife, Jelana. They are expecting a baby. I believe, did you say December? Or I it should have went back, but they're expecting a baby soon, or soon within the new year, I guess. But big congratulations to them. If you follow either one of them, go send them some congratulations. They're just such a great couple. If anyone who follows them or has seen them in person, they're just great, and they have actually talked about wanting to have a baby and working on that. So big congrats to them.
Yeah.
Yes, and I saw Carson actually put out a video of his he was trying to work up his protein regimen.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, and I'm telling you, Carson, right now, if you're listening,
that video quick.
Nothing is going to give you better arm strength than that baby. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah,
you can
you got the baby, you got the diaper bag,
you can get the gym at this point. No. I'm just talking just nap time. It's going to kill you, but you will have incredible arm strength. So no need to go to the gym once that baby comes, because you're gonna be like.
But he can keep on posting about it.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Feel free.
Yes. All day, every day.
Advice and the visuals. Yes.
Yes. So a year from now, we'll see. We'll see the results on camera. I guarantee you.
Yeah. So big congrats to them. Yeah.
Yes.
So cute.
Yes. Next up, we have another day's birthday. The lovely James Reynolds, Jim only to his friends. I'm sorry. James Reynolds celebrated his birthday August 10th. Big congratulations to him. Another year around the sun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just coming off a whirlwind trip to Europe, I think, too. Yeah. Go check out his Instagram. Yeah. Yeah. Next up, we have our friend Mr. Kevin Spiritus is doing a show with Josh Payne in the Traveling Rodeo in Nashville, Tuesday, August 22nd, 8 p.m. at Betty's Grill, again in Nashville. If you don't know, he is definitely an accomplished singer. So go check that out. Yeah, he's been
very good singer.
Yeah, he does a few dates here and there. I guess he's sort of ramping that up again, which is nice. So yeah, if you have an opportunity to go see Kevin, he has a great voice. Him and Chloe have sung on the show, right? Did I imagine that?
No,
back in the day.
Yeah, not recently.
Yeah, they need to do it again.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. So,
who did this photo? Damn.
I know.
Wasn't me, but yeah.
Yeah, go check out if you're interested in looking at the very, very handsome Kevin Spiritus. Go check out his Instagram.
It's at Kevin Spiritus.
He will give you photos like this all the time. Yes.
Damn.
He is definitely good with the content.
Yes.
All right.
Go check it out. Yes.
Next up, we have another big anniversary coming up. Next Friday, August 18th, the episode will be not only we have a week's tributes coming up to John Aniston, but this will mark the 50th anniversary of Suzanne Rogers. Yes, this legend has been on Days of Our Lives for 50 years.
Wow.
So this will be a tribute to her as a character, her as a matriarch, both in the Horton family and in the Kyriakis family. Big congratulations to Suzanne. We love you so much.
I almost wonder if they waited to sunset the Victor character, knowing, like, making it part of her,
kind of put it together,
giving her a moment to shine because of, having it correlating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
giving her some good material.
Yeah, I'm sure she's gonna kill it this week. Whatever.
She's an extraordinary woman in her own right. She's created an extraordinary character in her own right, and she's been lucky enough to be part of not one but two beloved couples on this show, which we didn't think. She was always Maggie Horton for decades.
They did so right by her by pairing her with Victor after Mickey passed away.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was the best thing they did for that character at the time. Yeah.
Yes, it just gave her new life, and it showed all of us that you are more than one half of a couple, but there's life goes on. Yeah. And you can find new life, new love elsewhere.
With someone who is the opposite of the love of your life. Like, you can love,
such a different dynamic. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You never know. You never know what's around the corner.
Yeah.
So big congratulations to Suzanne.
And she's so sweet. She's always just like happy to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't know you from Adam, but is always, never met you before, but is so just like always lovely when we chat with her.
Yeah,
Nice
I'm
chat
really
with her.
yeah. I hope we get to chat with her soon. Please
Yeah.
strike in soon.
Mhm.
All right, and that was
News and gossip.
now, guys. Get ready. This is the promo for this week's upcoming Days of Our Lives.
I'm afraid I have some bad news. It's about your Uncle Victor. Victor's plane went down.
There will never, ever be another Victor Kiriakis.
My greatest happiness has been sharing my life with you.
Aw.
Wally's gonna kill me. I already know it.
If that is a representation of how
No, it's gonna. I know.
go, it's gonna be. Oh man,
It's gonna be.
that was good.
Yeah.
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 I mean, it was good. It was a good promo for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked hearing Kate too. I have to say, as a small
Oh, they
hearing
have to
people-
give. Yeah, Kate has to be a part of
They
this
will.
because she and Victor were a big
Yeah.
part of each other's lives.
Yeah.
So
And that's the magic of John Aniston. It's they're not just saying goodbye to a character, they're saying goodbye to a
Oh, no.
friend.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah, and it's yeah. We'll see how that plays out this
Yeah.
week. We've talked about it for months and months, and it's finally here, and not out of excitement, but a sense of
Mhm.
let's do right by
Yes.
this character, by this man who was so beloved.
Also, when someone leaves like that too, who's been around for so I don't know days without Victor. So it's like what I mean. It's like to have where do you? It's sort of like when Caroline dies or what if
Mhm.
or Alice Horton. It's like you don't.
Or Joe Mascolo, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Mascolo was
Yeah.
like after Francis Reed, Joe Mascolo was the one. I was like, what?
What are they gonna do? How's this show?
Yeah.
Exactly. How can days go
Yeah.
without Stefano?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
I
just
really
make Stephen Nichols play him. Like,
Oh,
I guess that was-
Moving on.
No,
yeah.
you get that this time, thank goodness.
But
But
yeah,
yeah.
it's oh,
Yeah.
Okay, and that was your week of days. Thank you so much for joining us. I promise it'll be much more emotional next week.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of I think much more positive, much more from the heart things to say next week, I anticipate. So please join us. Before we go, please follow Michael Mattis.
please
Where?
follow me, on Instagram and Twitter at ML Mattis.
And please follow Justin.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
You can find me, Araceli, on Instagram and Twitter at Tia323Araceli. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure to follow us on our social media platforms, Dishin Days Show on Facebook, at Dishin Days on Instagram, and Dishin Days on Twitter and Threads. Please make sure to like our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on all our podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and buy our merch at dishindays.threadless.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you next week.
Sorry we were such Debbie Downers, but
See ya.
it happens.
It's okay. I know the chat room was with us, so it's
They
like
were actually. They
there's
were in agreement with a lot of what we
solidarity,
had
which
to
I
say, so,
love.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye, everyone.